What's up, guys? Obviously, it's Captain Obvious, and welcome to Battlefield 3 Expanded Analysis. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the Battlefield 3 patch changes. This is part 6. I'll be covering gadgets and attachments. This is the final episode, so if you guys missed any past ones, make sure to check out the playlist links in the description. And without further ado, let's get started. So like I said in the beginning, we're talking about the gadgets and attachments in today's episode. This is the final episode in this mini-series. So if you guys missed any of the past videos for Battlefield 3 Expanded Analysis where I covered the patch changes, I will have a playlist link in the description to actually all 6 of these videos. So you guys can all watch them in order so you know what exactly is being patched in the upcoming Battlefield 3 update. And I will remind you guys, as of right now, we have no definite date on this release date, but we know it's coming out sometime in March. So let's take a look at these patch changes. I'm going to start out with attachments. So we're going to look at the scopes first. And the first change is fix the 7x scope not zooming on full 7 times on all weapons. Corrected the M39 EMR's laser sight so it points to the point of impact and aligns with scopes when zoomed. Fixed a misaligned scope crosshair on the G3A3 using the rifle scope 6 times. Fixed the PKA and PKAS scopes on the M416 having swapped zoom levels. The L96 straight pull bolt now functions properly. The L96 iron sights have been adjusted for a clearer aiming picture and the correct use of the integral front sight. The L96 now properly shows scope glint when using the 8x and 12x scopes. That's going to balance it out a little bit more than the rest of the sniper rifles, because in the past the L96 was one of the most dominant rifles because the scope glint didn't work as well. So now they're fixing that. Tweak the IRNV to be more consistent across all levels. Fix the rendering issue with the IRNV view when taking damage. Tweak the IRNV zoom times and scope visible areas to be the same across all weapons. Some were actually faster than others. Fix the QBU-88 sniper rifle and the L96 IRNV scopes to use the proper sniper reticle. Now let's take a look at the bipod. Accuracy increase and recoil reduction of the bipod has been slightly improved for assault rifles and carbines. The bipod now provides similar accuracy and recoil benefits no matter if the weapon is fired while aiming or without aiming for all weapons. Previously, only LMGs worked this way. This especially improves the speed at which sniper rifles can make a follow-up shot, and also allows effective unaimed suppressive fire with assault rifles and carbines. Increase the speed at which the bipod is deployed, allowing for a user to obtain the bipod's bonus sooner after the deploy has started, and the allowing weapon to be aimed in a far shorter time. The speed has been increased from 40% to 50% depending on the weapon and animation. That is awesome. The bipod took a while to unfold and get ready. So they're making that a whole lot faster. Maybe the bipod will be more effective on the assault rifles and the carbines now, because in the past it hasn't really been too effective because of their lower magazine size and the fact that it's really not effective to use a bipod with those weapons. So now maybe it'll be a whole lot more awesome and effective using it on an assault rifle and carbine. The heavy barrel, the vertical recoil penalty of the heavy barrel has been reduced. The value has been changed from a global percentage increase to a weapon-specific value. That means only certain weapons will have values assigned to it. The heavy barrel does not have a global increase in recoil on the vertical side. So now, let's say the F2000 with a heavy barrel will have 25%. Another weapon could have like 10%. That's how it's going to work. A small hip accuracy penalty has been added to the heavy barrel to represent the added weight of the accessory, as well as focus the attachment on accurate mid and long range fire. The exact penalty amount is a weapon-specific value. Several weapons with low default bolt speed now have their bolt speed increase when the heavy barrel is equipped. That is pretty awesome. I'm really excited for this. This is in effect for the A91, G3A3, AKS74U, G36C, M4A1, SCAR H, SG553, G53, and QBZ95B. That is honestly really awesome. The heavy barrel is now also paired with match rounds, which increases the maximum range of the weapon. The minimum maximum damage are unchanged. Weapons with a heavy barrel will be more effective at mid-range. So they're making the heavy barrel a whole lot more effective than it used to be, instead of just increasing accuracy. Now it makes you more effective at medium range, and it also makes your bullet speed go faster if you have a lower default bullet speed. This is really awesome what they're doing with the heavy barrel, and maybe I'll actually use it more often now. And the final patch change for it is the aimed accuracy bonus provided by the heavy barrel has been increased. This will increase the effectiveness of the heavy barrel for small bursts as originally intended. Now the IRNV, it has been tweaked to be more consistent across all levels, fixed the rendering issue, and the zoom times have been fixed, and the QBU and 88 and the 6 scopes have been adjusted with the proper stuff. Like I said earlier in the scopes part, it's the same exact stuff in the IRNV. The foregrip, the horizontal sway reduction has been changed from a global percent reduction to a weapon-specific value reduction. For most guns, this means a very little change. For guns that have a large horizontal recoil, the change is more substantial. The FAMAS F2000 and the AEK971 are most effective. The AK-74, M16, and the M416 are nearly unchanged. A small long-range aimed accuracy penalty has been added to the foregrip. Players who generally find themselves fighting at mid to long range may want to change their accessory, while players fighting in CQB will go largely unaffected. Combining the foregrip with a silencer or a heavy barrel will offset this penalty. Now, the foregrip has always been a go-to attachment for me, and I know for many other players, so they're making it a little less effective at longer range to make you go for using that heavy barrel, because that's where that attachment is intended. The laser sight, the hip accuracy bonus provided by the laser sight has been increased. Some PDWs have had their crouch and prone based stats adjusted to prevent hip firing being more accurate when aimed fire when using a laser sight. The bonus is now a weapon-specific value instead of a global percentage. Some guns receive larger or smaller bonuses, though all bonuses were better than they were previously. The suppressor. Suppressor no longer reduces the maximum damage of a weapon when equipped. Instead, the suppressor reduces the minimum and maximum range of the weapon, making it ideal for CQB and stealth. This change will make the suppressor slightly more effective at long range, where bullet drop and speed make shot difficult already, and reduces the power of the suppressor at mid-range slightly. The suppressor's recoil bonus remains unchanged at a global 10% decrease. This is less than flash suppressor's bonus for all weapons. The hip accuracy penalty of the suppressor has now been changed from a global percentage to a per weapon value. Generally, this penalty is higher now, but for all weapons, specifically the belt-fed LMGs and bolt-action sniper rifles, do not have any additional hip-fire penalty, as their penalty is already at the maximum possible value. Reduce the aim accuracy of the suppressor from 50% to 25%. A suppressor and foregrip combo now have similar accuracy to weapon without any accessories. At the penalty of worse hip-fire accuracy and range, and with the benefit of a much improved stealth and reduced recoil. Now, it seems like they're changing around a lot of these attachments, specifically the suppressor, to have a more specialized role on the battlefield, making it more of a specialty weapon attachment, and not so much toward a overall good attachment on every single weapon and all situations. So I like how they're changing these weapons around to make them more specialty related. The flash suppressor has a few changes, and this is no longer reducing accuracy for automatic fire. The flash suppressor now also works as a recoil compensator, reducing the vertical recoil by a weapon-specific value. The bonus is larger than the bonus provided by the suppressor, though. A small hip accuracy penalty has been added to the flash suppressor to represent the added weight of the accessory. The exact penalty amount as a weapon-specific value. So that is all the attachment changes they're adding in this upcoming update. It's a good list. Awesome that they're making the attachments more specialty related and make them only useful in certain situations. They said in the past that they're making the weapons changes and the attachment changes to increase the overall unique and individuality of each gun. So this is going to make the experience in Battlefield 3 a whole lot awesomer, because now you have specialty attachments for certain situations. Now here are the gadgets. Reduce the spot time on C4 and Claymore projectiles from 30 to 15 seconds. Tweaked the controls and physics for the EOD bot to improve its handling and aiming capabilities. The radio beacon, mortar, MAV, EOD bot, T-UGs, and SOFLAM should now be much easier to deploy. Thank God. The MAV will now be destroyed when running into a soldier or a vehicle at high speed. It is still possible to strategically sacrifice your MAV on a soldier, though it will be destroyed in the process. That is really, really awesome. The MAV now properly shows up in the kill feed. Previously, it simply just displayed killed. The MAV can no longer be used as an elevator. Woohoo! Match the motion sensor sweep frequency and range of the MAV to the T-UGs. Player will no longer auto-enter SOFLAM, NAV, and EOD bot after they are deployed. Players may now use their knife to destroy enemy equipment. C4 will no longer be detonatable after a player respawns. If the player is revived within 5 seconds, he can still detonate his C4. The player may now have a maximum number of mines which will persist after the player's death. Deploying more than the maximum of 6 mines will remove the previous mine from the world. Claymores will now live up to 5 seconds after a player dies. The player can also only have a maximum of 2 claymores planted at the same time. Claymores can now be detonated from vehicles and can be used to disable jeeps or kill passengers in light jeeps. The claymores will not do any damage to heavy vehicles. It seems like they're really toning down the claymore's power now, which is really going to make it a whole lot awesomer. That's not a word, but ammo bags now stay until the user redeploys them like medkits. Ammo bags resupply bullets more quickly, but explosives resupplies more slowly, especially 40mm grenades. This is going to prevent a lot of RPG spamming, which is pretty nice. Slightly reduce the effective blast radius of the RPG, small, and 40mm grenade projectiles against infantry. I don't know why they're nerfing the 40mm grenades, but I see why they're nerfing the RPG and small. Reduce the total number of RPG and small missiles carried from 5 to 4. Players desiring more rockets will now use the explosive spec. Slightly increase the heal rate of the medical crate. The MAV will now descend by pressing the crouch toggle key on PC only. The M224 mortar can no longer be deployed in an area that is out of the combat for another team, like a home base or other protected spawn. That's really going to tone down the mortar power. Tweak the M224 exit point so the player faces in the direction of the mortar when he exits. Mines, claymore, C4, and other deployable items will now only appear on the minimap when spotted by a teammate. Wow, this is a lot of changes for both attachments and gadgets, and that is really awesome that they're really taking attention to some of the overpowered aspects of some of these attachments and gadgets, and they're making them more specialty related, which is really, really awesome. Now, let me know your thoughts about this patch in the comments, and if there's anything else you would like them to patch, let me know about them, because maybe I have the same opinions of you, and it'll be pretty cool to see if other people feel the same way about me. The one thing I really want them to change is that AN94 glitch I posted a while back, where the front iron sights would disappear, but maybe they're actually patching that because it was not in the patch notes though. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, check out the playlist links in the description to any past Battlefield 3 analysis videos that you may have missed. This is the end of patch update changes for Battlefield 3. Next week, Battlefield 3 analysis will continue as usual. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do kit suggestions, and maybe I'll do some more weapon reviews. I don't know yet. I'll decide. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.